What's up, dudes? HW here. Today I want to talk about how to get thick, fat, juicy, tubular, thicker than a Snicker tone on your digital modeler, and how to do this on any platform. I'm going to show you today how to do it on the Line 6 Helix because I think the editor really makes it easy to see everything with the EQs. But at the end of this video, stay tuned. I'm going to show you where to download this same exact thing that I built with the same EQs for the Kemper, for the Quad Cortex, and of course, it's right here for the Helix and HX Stomp and Native and stuff. So here we go. Let's get into it. Here is the HX Edit. Check it out. I really do love this software. It's really easy to visualize stuff. At the top, I was playing some dirtier kind of thing, but here I'm going to go to a clean tone, and boom, we just have a little bit of compression up front. Nothing out of the ordinary. Amp, cab. Today I'm using a tone matched IR. If you're on Kemper or QC, it's going to be this Vibroverb normal channel with the bright. On the Helix, it's obviously a tone matched IR. And then I just got a tiny little bit of compression. Ignore it. There's another video on how to get better tone from digital. That's in there. I talk a little about this studio comp. It's cool. Check it out if you want to know about that. Little delay, little reverb. Sounds like a Fender. That's what we're going for, right? So here's what it sounds like right here. Here's my clean tone. It sounds great. Sounds like my Vibroverb, my 1965 Vibroverb, which is the whole point of putting this together on digital. How are we going to get fatter tone? Here's one thing. This is a cool tone if I want to do something like this. It's beautiful. In between sound gives you that little kind of thinner, sort of rhythmic-y, Nile Rodgers kind of thing. And it's awesome. What if I want to fatten it up, right? This is a Vibroverb. What if I want thick Stevie Ray Vaughan type 10,000 pound clean tone? Let's come in here and let's talk about the high-low shift. High-low shift is, in my opinion, a lot of times better than cutting, because sometimes if we cut too much, we're going to take away frequencies we want, just to address problem frequencies. So I like to be a little more accurate and use the low-high shelf because I think you can kind of get in there with a little more precision. So high-low shelf, what am I doing? I'm actually going to take away some high-end pretty aggressively. At 2.2, I'm going to take away 2.2 decibels at 4,000 hertz. That's treble and up. So treble and presence, I'm taking away, and then I'm going to add a lot down here, 722 hertz and below. Why 722? It's kind of where my cursor landed. In that range, get in the 650, 700 range, and we're going to boost the heck out of that. First, I'm going to show you just how we're going to boost it, only about 2.8. Let's try that. Now, my tone sounds like this. Boosting it a little bit more, bring that up to like 4.7, 4.8. Why not 5? Why not 5? Bigger, thicker. Listen to it without it. Way thinner. With it, thicken it up a bit. You can just hear it's thick, man. You can hear that. You can hear that. So we're really tilting. We're really adding a lot more emphasis to the low end and taking away emphasis on the high end. You got to use your ears for something like this, because you might look at some of these numbers and go, that's not right. 5 decibels on everything 700 and lower, but you got to use your ears because it depends on the sound you start with. This is a big 15-inch speaker. Those lows are rich. They want to come out. They want to be admired, you know? There's a reason Stevie chose this amp. One other thing. So don't be afraid to choose a point and go, it's almost like the tilt EQ, you know? But we're being a little more precise. We're choosing 700 and below. We want to bring that up. 400, we want to bring that down. Now we've got more lows, less highs. Our mid-range is intact. I love that. And it sounds beautiful. I'm going to throw a clon on that, and we're going to listen to it with the clon. Let me make sure that's the only thing on. High and low. There we go. Now here it is with the clon. So we're going to get that high mid emphasis now. But we still have all that nice juicy low end. Nice kind of juicy thing. We got that high emphasis on the clon. Now let's talk about that. The clon is adding some mid-range, and there's kind of high mids and low mids. And so if you really want to get fatter, one thing we might do, let's turn on this, here's a tube screamer. Here's some low mids, right? And that's going to sound like this. We've brought up our low end, so we've got a thick starting place. And now we're going to add in this little tube screamer, which is going to give us more low mids, right? Let me pause and remind you of something. This is a Fender with the bright switch on. So we're not sacrificing high end. We're not afraid of high end. We want juicy fatness in there too. Here's what that sounds like. Okay, we got it all right now. We got low end, we got mid-range, we got low mids, we got high end, right? Listen to that. We've got it. We've got a tone, man. That's a tone. Now, there's one more thing. Let's say we want to add some mid-range, some more mid-range, because right now we're leaving our mid-range alone. We're bringing up a lot of low end. 700 has some mid-range in it, right? We're bringing up 500 and 700. We're bringing up those low mids to get fatness. But we're not giving it a huge boost. I mean, we are, but we aren't, right? Let's say we want to boost even more. I'm going to come in here and turn on another EQ. I'm not afraid to stack EQs, man. I ain't afraid. You don't be afraid. You stack EQs every time you stack overdrives, every time you put an overdrive in front of an amp, you got EQs going into EQs, going into EQs. Your amp is EQ here, going into this EQ over here, phase inverter, preamp, power to, everything's doing an EQ thing to it, right? The Dumble sound is all about cascading EQs, internal EQs that are bringing those two channels cascading together. So it's all there. Don't be afraid of it. But what we're going to do is we're going to boost 4 decibels at 600. I'm assuming there's a normal curve on this that is 0.7, and it sounds like it to me. So we're going to turn off those overdrives. They're off, and it's going to sound like this. Let's turn that EQ back off, compare it 1 to 1. Here we go. This is the only EQ. The high and low shelf is the only thing on. We're not doing our mid-range boost right now. Here it is, just clean. Nice. But with it on. Okay, lovely, nice. You hear how there's still that mid-range accent that's familiar? It's kind of like a tube screamer. But there's no overdrive, because there's no overdrive circuit in it. Look, if I add that tube screamer back in, sounds like this. You can hear those frequencies are similar, but it's obviously a lot more exaggerated with a tube screamer. There's low end cut with a tube screamer. It's cutting out the low end to get some of that hollowy, nasally sound effect, right? This is something you should think about when you're looking for fatness. What kind of fatness? Is it low end? Is it that 500, tube screamery 600, 500-esque area? The sound of a tube screamer is that thin, and that's fat, but you don't always need that to make your tone fat and big. And that's what I think is really the lesson here. You can come in here and you can add EQs, and you got to use your ear, and you don't have to be afraid. Let's boost all that low end if we want fatness. Let's boost, 700, 800 low and down if we want fatness. If we want high end, Marshall-esque Klon mid-range emphasis, Marshalls and Klons are going to emphasize at the 1200, 1600, maybe the 2200 area. Kind of there, you're going to hear a lot of those frequencies. Treble, to me, 3.5K and up, right? That's really where that high end is. And a lot of times that's what needs to be tamed with harsh high end. So I'm always listening. Is it harsh high? Why is this thin? Or why is it not fat and juicy and tubular? Why is my sound not speaking to me like it's the fattest sound in the world? Well, I just listen there. That's still a scooped sound, right? If I add a ton of mid-range to that with that overdrive, it's like two pieces of a puzzle just fitting together, It's like the scoop and the mid-range, right? And it just is like. Come on. All right. You can go to the Tone Junkie website right now and link down below in the description. You can get this on the Kemper Tips and Tricks page for Kemper. You can get this, it's free on Helix to everyone. Sign up for the Helix free pack. It's in there. And on Quad Cortex, it's on Cortex Cloud right now. Check it out. It's called 65 Vibroverb NB. And this is what you get in the 65 collection on all those devices, but I've modified the effects here to show you how to get those fat EQs on and off. So we're using a shelf and we're using a simple EQ. On the other units, we're using mostly a studio EQ. With the Kemper, we can do all of this with one sort of thing. We could do that here too with the Helix, but for the purposes of showing you, I wanted to break it down into two different EQs and show you how to do it. On the Kemper, it's a studio EQ there, and I will do videos on each unit individually in the future, but this was how to get fatter, juicier, tubular, thicker than a Snicker tone on any modeler. My name's been HW. Subscribe, like, share with your friends, save, recycle. I don't care what you do. I'm into this tone, man. Come on. Uh-oh. Chorus lead. We got it on the bridge. kind of tried to play every lick I knew right there.